I was listening to Josh Howerton's podcast this week, and he said something that got me thinking about why health journeys feel so impossibly hard for some people. He was talking about how God prepares people for their calling, and I realized there's a direct connection between what he shared and why your health struggles might not be what you think they are. If you've ever wondered why everyone else seems to have their health figured out while you're still struggling, this episode is going to change how you see your entire journey. Because what feels like God breaking you might actually be God building you. Welcome to Strength for Generations, the go-to podcast for Christian families who want to build strength, restore energy, and deepen connection with God at the center. I'm Christa Baker, Christian health coach, wife, mom, and co-founder of Baker Family Fitness. I'm here to help you honor God with your health and bring peace back to the process, to simplify what it means to build strength in your body, renew your mind, and care for your spirit, all without losing precious time with your family. So grab your coffee and your ribeye, and let's do this His way. Welcome back to the Strength for Generations podcast. I am your host, Christa Baker, and this is where we talk about building health that honors God and carries into the next generation. Before we dive in today, I want to invite you to something that's going to completely shift how you approach your health. It's my free 5-day Move Mountains Method training. Day 1 is about finding your why. We're going to help you discover that your body isn't a project to fix. It's a gift from God to steward. Instead of focusing on weight loss or appearance, you're going to learn to focus on honoring God with your health. Day 2 is about daily habits and movement. We talk about movement as gratitude and action, not punishment. God designed your body to move, serve, work, and enjoy life. We'll cover strength training, walking, mobility, and using your strength to serve others. Day 3, the focus is on food as fuel. Food isn't the enemy. It's a gift from God that fuels your energy, focus, and purpose. We keep nutrition simple, with protein at every meal, drinking water first, choosing real foods, and eating with gratitude. Day 4 is about perseverance and consistency, because motivation comes and goes, but consistency is what creates transformation. So we'll tackle common obstacles like the all or nothing thinking, comparison, and trying to do everything alone. Day 5 is about legacy and generations. Your choices impact more than just you. The way you care for your health teaches your children and influences future generations. This training is completely free, and it's designed specifically for those of you who want their health to support their calling, not distract them from it. And you can sign up right now at bakerfamilyfitness.com/movemountains. Now, let's talk about why your hard health season might be exactly what God ordered for your life. I was talking to a friend of mine last week, and she told me that she feels completely broken in her health journey. She said, Christa, I watch other moms meal prep on Sunday and work out at 5 a.m., and they make it look so easy. Meanwhile, I can barely get through the day without falling asleep on the couch. My clothes don't fit, my energy is gone, and I feel like I'm failing at everything. Where is God in all of this? Why does everyone else get the easy path while I get the struggle? And I knew exactly what she meant because honestly, I've been there too. That season when you feel like your body is working against you instead of with you. Where every health choice feels like climbing a mountain. Where you look around and wonder why your health journey feels so much harder than everyone else's. You start questioning if God even cares about your physical struggles. You wonder if you're being punished for something. You feel like you're failing at stewarding the body He gave you. And the enemy whispers lies, like, you're not strong enough. You don't have what it takes, and everyone else has it easier than you. But what if I told you that everything you think about hard health seasons is wrong? What if the very thing that feels like it's breaking you is actually the thing that God is using to build you? This is where Josh Howerton's words completely shifted my thinking this week. He was talking about shipwrecks and how in life you're either in one, headed toward one, or coming out of one. And then he said something that made me stop everything and think about the health journeys. He said, and I'm quoting him directly here from his Live Free podcast, when God wanted to make David a king, He didn't give him a crown, He gave him a Goliath. When God wanted to raise Joseph to the palace, He didn't give him a shortcut, He gave him prison. When God wanted to make Esther a queen, He didn't give her comfort, He gave her a crisis. When God wanted to make Moses a leader, He didn't give him a stage, He gave him a wilderness. A lot of times when you feel like God's breaking you, He's actually building you. And when I heard those words, I immediately thought of the health struggles. God doesn't give us what we expect in life. He gives us what we need to become everything He needs us to be to fulfill the calling in our life, and that includes our health journey. Think about this pattern in your own health story. When God wanted to make you a woman who could encourage others in their health struggles, He didn't give you an easy path. He gave you your own health crisis to walk through first. And that's something that I've personally, this is why I coach. This is why I do what I do, because every time I beat one of these struggles or these kind of attacks from the worldly stuff or the way that I get distracted, I take that and I'm doing my best to just use it for good right now, even here to inspire you guys to move into one step towards what He's calling you to do. When God wanted to prepare you to lead your family well, He didn't give you a perfect metabolism and endless energy. He gave you challenges that would teach you perseverance and dependence on Him. When God wanted to develop your character and faith, He didn't give you a body that never changes or struggles. He gave you seasons that would force you to trust Him more than your own strength. Because here's what I've learned after years of walking through my own health wilderness. The very struggles that feel like they're disqualifying you are actually qualifying you. The season that feels like it's breaking you is building something in you that can't be built any other way. The health challenges that make you feel weak are developing a strength that goes deeper than physical muscle. And look at David's story for a minute. Everyone saw a giant that was too big to fight. David saw a giant that was too big to miss. The same giant that terrified an entire army became the stepping stone that launched David into his calling. But here's what we miss. David didn't wake up one day and decide to fight Goliath. He had been building the courage, faith, and skill to face that giant through years of protecting sheep from lions and bears. The wilderness prepared him for the palace. The private battles prepared him for his public victory. Your health struggles are your private battles right now, and they're preparing you for something bigger than you can see. Joseph's story is even more powerful when you think about health. He went from being this favored son to slave to prisoner. For years, it looked like God had forgotten him. Every circumstance screamed that he was being punished, not prepared. But those years in prison were developing the character, wisdom, and leadership skills he would need to save nations. The very place that felt like death was actually the place of preparation for life. Your health struggles might feel like a prison right now. You might feel trapped by low energy, weight gain, or physical limitations. You might feel forgotten by God. But what if this season is actually developing something in you that you'll need for what's coming next? What if the patience you're learning while your body heals slowly is preparing you to help others who need that same patience? And that's really personal to me, guys. I am really working on being patient while I move in different ways that I really don't want to. I want to be able to go back and train the way I used to like training. But what if the dependence on God you're developing is preparing you to lead from a place of humility instead of self-reliance? Esther didn't ask to become queen during a crisis. She didn't choose to have her people threatened with destruction. But the very crisis that felt overwhelming was the reason she was positioned where she was for such a time as this. It wasn't about easy circumstances. It was about being prepared for hard ones. Your health crisis might be your for such a time as this moment. The struggles you're walking through with perimenopause or autoimmune issues or weight gain aren't accidents. They're positioning you to speak hope into someone else's health journey. They're qualifying you to lead your family through their own health challenges. They're developing a testimony that only comes through walking through hard things with God. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before God called him to lead. I think about that a lot. And I'm like, you think about how God fasted for 40 days and man, think about it. Could you fast for 40 days? I couldn't. Moses spent 40 years. I'm 47 tomorrow. And I know that if I ended up in the wilderness when I was 7 and I was just coming out of it now, it would have taken a lot of faith. 40 years of feeling forgotten, overlooked, and unqualified. But those wilderness years, they weren't wasted time. They were preparation time. The same man who tried to lead in his own strength at 40 was ready to lead in God's strength at 80. The wilderness taught him things that the palace never could. Your health wilderness is teaching you things that easy circumstances never could. It's teaching you that your strength comes from God, not from perfect eating or flawless workouts. It's teaching you that your worth isn't tied to the number on a scale or the size of your clothes. It's teaching you that consistency matters more than perfection. It's teaching you that your body is a gift to steward, not a project to fix. But here's what breaks my heart. So many of you are walking through these building seasons and thinking you're failing. You're in the middle of God developing something powerful in you, and you're focused on what feels broken instead of what's being built. I get this sometimes with clients, and I'm like, this was a tough check-in. They're not all glorious, like all is well, because we have personal struggles. We have strongholds. We have addiction. We have issues. We have hard weeks with our family and our kids and our work and life. And sometimes I have to really encourage my clients to find the smallest little win and hold on to that and thank God for that little win, even though you wanted it to be bigger. You're comparing your wilderness to someone else's palace and missing the purpose in your own season. You're asking God to give you a crown when He's given you a Goliath, because a Goliath is what you need to become who He's calling you to be. And while you're focused on feeling disqualified, you're missing the fact that you're actually being qualified. While you're asking why your health journey is harder than everyone else's, you're missing the truth that it's harder because it's preparing you for something bigger. While you're feeling forgotten by God, you're missing the fact that He's positioning you for purpose. The enemy wants you to stay focused on what feels broken because he knows that if you understood what God is building, you would have hope that could move mountains. So let me give you 5 practical ways to embrace the building instead of just enduring the breaking. Okay, here's strategy 1. We're going to change your questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this building in me? Instead of asking, when will this be over? Start asking, what do I need to learn in this season? Instead of asking, why is everyone else's journey easier? Start asking, what is God preparing me for that requires this level of strength? Write these questions down and ask them when you feel frustrated with your own health journey. Strategy 2, we're going to reframe your hard moments. When your energy is low and you feel frustrated, instead of thinking, I'm failing, think God is teaching me to depend on His strength. When your body doesn't respond the way you want it to, instead of thinking, I'm broken, think God is developing patience and perseverance in me. When your health journey feels harder than everyone else's, instead of thinking, I'm doing something wrong, think, God is preparing me for something that requires this level of character. Practice this reframing every single day until it becomes automatic. And trust me, guys, it gets easier the more we do it. In the beginning, it feels so weird and hard. But just when you start doing it and you start speaking life into what you're really, truly experiencing, remember, our words speak life or death. And so we need to start speaking life into even the way we speak about ourselves. Okay, strategy 3, look for character development. Ask yourself these questions weekly. Is this season teaching me patience? If you're a parent, it might be every single season. I'm just kidding. How is this struggle developing my faith? How is this challenge making me more compassionate towards others? How is this difficulty teaching me to depend on God instead of my own strength? What character qualities is God building in me that I couldn't develop in easy circumstances? Strategy 4, we're going to find your qualification story. Start looking at your health struggles as your qualification, not your disqualification. The autoimmune issues you're managing are qualifying you to help other men or women navigating chronic illness. The weight struggles you're facing are qualifying you to speak hope to men or women who feel trapped by their bodies. The energy challenges you're walking through are qualifying you to encourage moms and dads who feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Your mess is becoming your message, but only if you see it that way. Strategy 5, we're going to practice future focus. When you feel overwhelmed by your current health season, remind yourself that this is temporary preparation for permanent purpose. Ask yourself, who will I be able to help because I walked through this? What will I be able to teach my children because I learned this? How will my testimony encourage others because I didn't give up? What ministry or calling might God be preparing for me through this struggle? Keep a journal of these thoughts so you can look back and see how God was working even when you couldn't see in the moment. This is exactly why I created the Move Mountains method, because I realized that most health programs focus on what without addressing the why. They tell you what to eat and how to exercise, but don't help you understand that your health journey is actually part of your spiritual journey. They don't help you see that the struggles you're facing are building something in you that goes way deeper than physical fitness. The Move Mountains method is different because it's built on truth that your health is part of your stewardship calling. It's designed to help you see that every hard season has purpose. Every struggle is developing character. Every challenge is disqualifying you for something bigger. And when you understand that, everything changes. Your motivation shifts from external pressure to internal purpose. Your identity shifts from your performance to your calling. And your hope shifts from temporary circumstances to eternal perspective. So if what I've shared today is speaking to your heart, I want to invite you again to join me for the free 5-day Move Mountains Method training. This isn't just about meal plans and workout schedules. This is about understanding that your health journey is part of God's bigger plan for your life. Over 5 days, we're going to walk through exactly how to build health that honors God and carries into the next generation. We'll help you find that why that goes deeper than weight loss, and we'll talk about movement as worship and food as fuel. We'll dive into perseverance when motivation fails, and we'll focus, most importantly, on building a legacy that impacts future generations. This training is completely free. You can grab your spot right now at bakerfamilyfitness.com/movemountains-method. Now, I want to leave you with this truth today. Whatever health season you're walking through right now, you're not walking through it alone. God sees you in your struggle, and he knows exactly what you're facing. And he's not surprised by any of it. The very thing that feels like it's breaking you is the thing he's using to build you into who you need to be for what's coming next. Your Goliath isn't too big for God. Your prison season isn't permanent. Your crisis has purpose. Your wilderness is preparation. And the character, faith, and strength being built in you right now will be exactly what you need to fulfill the calling God has on your life. Trust the process, embrace the building, and remember that faithful is better than perfect every single time. Okay, until next time, my friends, stay strong and keep building strength for generations. Thanks for tuning in to Strength for Generations. If this podcast encouraged you, it would be a blessing if you took a quick minute to leave a 5-star review. It helps more families hear this message and find hope for their health and faith journey. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. And if you feel led to share this episode, text it to a friend, post it to your stories, or send it to someone on your heart. God might use it to encourage someone who really needs it today. And don't forget to eat steaks, lift weights, love Jesus, and keep doing it His way.